Hello and welcome to the 24th meetup of the Formbird FLEET Professionals community. My name is Paul. It's great to see everyone. Thank you for coming on time and being there ready to learn. That's what we're here for. It's a knowledge transfer session.
And share.
Today we have a special guest presentation with us and we're going to look at the future of key management and asset integration. So I'll bring on Matt in a few minutes. So we're going to see how Formbird FLEET and KeyWatcher Australia work together to make key management easy, I should say. Adam will show you how simple it is to book assets, grab keys and get everything secure, which is going to be very exciting to see. We're doing a bit of a live cross to Adam and his magic box. So just as a reminder, we do record every session as we are recording now, and you can see old sessions or new sessions on our resources page on in the blog section on the Formbird website. We always put timestamps underneath, so if there's a bit that you want to jump to or you just want to jump past this yada 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 bit, you can always just press the timestamps that will take you straight to that section. So you don't need to watch an hour of it, you just get to the bit you want to get. All right, so today we're going to have Matt Goddard, beg your pardon, who is going to introduce us to KeyWatcher, which is a Keylocker system. And I won't go on about it because he can tell you all about it. And then Kat Adams is going to do his show and tell. All right, so this is an open forum. If you have question, put up your hand, have anything you want to say, how is this going to apply for me, those sort of things, put them there straight into the chat or put your hand up or just butt in. That's fine. That's fine. It's meant to be an open forum. So let's, without further ado, let's, Matt Goddard, tell us about your...
Thanks, Paul. Just test everyone can hear me. My microphone's working. Okay, good. So firstly, Paul, Mark, team at Formbird, thank you for the opportunity to come and share product information and business information with you guys and with your ecosystem there. So I've got a couple of videos. Now they're unashamedly marketing videos. They're quick, but I think it's maybe a good way just to introduce the business without listening to me ramble. They only go for a couple of minutes. I'll cut them short. I've got firstly an introduction on which I'll play, and again, apologies, this is unashamedly a marketing video, but it just shows you a little bit about electronic key management and how it comes about and our business as well. So bear with me. I'm going to arrange to share my screen.
Access to your keys. How long for? When are the keys due back? Who granted permission? In an increasingly complex world, managing keys can be time-consuming and frustrating. We are KeyWatcher Australia. Our proven team of experts have been answering these questions for over 25 years. Whether it be casinos, government, corrections, universities, or shopping centers, KeyWatcher is the answer. Made in the USA, our premium-grade KeyWatcher is proven the world over to stand the test of time. Along with our cloud-based software, you can control your keys anytime from anywhere. Issue keys to staff and contractors. Automate tracking and distribute keys to management-approved profiles. Prompt users to return keys. Escalate late keys to management if required. KeyWatcher never sleeps. Access 24 hours. Monitor from your mobile device with secure cloud connection. The KeyWatcher is easily deployed and maintained. No IT department required. Just a power socket and away we go. Proven knowledge from 25 years of experience. Join customers from 66 countries relying on the KeyWatcher for proven key management capability.
All right, I'm going to stop there. Now, a little Yeah, so forgive that. It's a bit, but it gives a little bit of a history of where key management has come. So we started 25 years ago bringing in a key box predominantly for the security industry. That's how key management started in the world. And as the security industry grew, what happened with our key box is it necessarily turned into a cloud-based solution as we had to integrate to access control solutions all over the world. And that has led to key management expanding into both contractor management and fleet via an integration. So all the key management, key cabinets have sort of traveled this journey. They were always just a box on the wall. Then a piece of software came with some functionality. Then about 10 years ago, it went onto cloud. And then with the ability to integrate platforms like Formbird, we now have a probably 6-7 year history in Australia and New Zealand in the fleet space. So that's KeyWatcher. KeyWatcher's, in terms of a product, it's stainless steel. The thing sits on the wall. It's indestructible, but that's just the box on the wall. I'm going to jump into another document now just to show you a little bit about the actual KeyWatcher. Bear with me. I think we'd be fluent with all of this after COVID, wouldn't we? But share. All right, so there's a KeyWatcher. So this is how it works. There's the design of a key cabinet. They come in various sizes down here. We call them a one module over on the left here. This has got one module in there, or 2 modules, or 3 modules, or 6 modules. If you walk into Crown Casino in Melbourne, there's about 58 of these in a row, so they can then back up side by side. So we can manage as many keys as is required. If you look back up here, in these modules, we can put a 16 key set module or an 8 key. Now in Fleet World, this is really what we do. We don't do the lockers and these mobile phone holders. We literally just do the 16 key module. The way the system works is this over here on the top right is called a smart key, and right in the end there looks like there's a coin. That's a microchip. That's called a Dallas chip. So the system always knows what key is where, coupled with the software and the magic. That's how the system knows what key is where, and when a user turns up, they can take their key out and put their key back in, and the system always knows what's going on. So that is the design of the product. There we go. Let me show you the bottom screen. It's got a touch screen. We can put fingerprint readers on it, swipe card readers. If you've got staff that are also accessing the building via an access control, we can do that kind of thing. Let me jump back here to this screen. So this is, how do I move some of this? How do I get rid of that? Come on. Here we go. This is the infrastructure for those that are interested. So that's the KeyWatcher on a wall. In the back of that KeyWatcher, we put a secure 4G modem in it. Now, this runs on a Telstra infrastructure similar to an ATM machine. So it's off the main Telstra mobile phone network. It sits in a secure VPN, IPsec VPN environment on the Telstra platform. And via the 4G modem, we talk to the cloud. That's where the software sits, up in the cloud, and it's through the software in the cloud that we integrate to Formbird. So I'm just going to pull up another document here. Bear with me. Yeah, in a Formbird environment, in a fleet environment, the way this works is the user just talks to the booking system, and the booking system, which I think Adam will show in a minute, talks to our cloud, and then goes back to the user. User receives a PIN on his phone via SMS or email, and the user simply presents themselves to the KeyWatcher, and the key is released. So all of this magic really sits away from the fleet manager on the ground. The booking system, the user just needs to use the booking system, make their bookings, and then the magic takes care of itself. So there's a bit of an explanation as to how the infrastructure works. Obviously, this is a 24/7 environment. So as long as the cloud's up and Telstra's up, it's up. There are some contingencies in these boxes. They're battery operated. They have a backup battery. I apologize. They're not battery operated. They have a backup battery. So these things can go 48 hours if power goes down. And so keys are always available. So there's a quick glimpse of the infrastructure. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense.
Oh.
How the KeyWatcher works, I've got another little video which I'll just show here. Okay.
From robust 18-gauge stainless steel, the same material trusted by the US military for key management. It's the toughest key cabinet globally. Versatile access. Users can access the KeyWatcher through various methods, including a user access code and PIN, pre-enrolled biometric fingerprint, RFID card, a mobile device, or even facial recognition. Efficient key retrieval. Access is granted and the user can select the remove key option. The KeyWatcher displays only the authorized keys, and once selected, the door unlocks, illuminating and releasing the chosen key. An automatic audit trail is generated for each key removal. Intuitive Smart Key. The patented Smart Key technology, powered by a Dallas chip, allows the key cabinet to know the location of each key bunch inside. It's incredibly durable and reliable. Proven track record. With over 6,000 KeyWatchers sold in Australia and New Zealand in the last 25 years and 120,000 globally, its track record is impressive. Some installations have lasted over 20 years.
Okay, I'll stop that because the rest of that's marketing material. It gives a little bit there on how the box actually works. So I'm going to jump back out of this. All right, so that's it on the videos. Apologies, they are marketing videos, but they show a little bit of the picture probably more clearly than I can articulate it quickly. So that's the key cabinet and how it works. If you just on that video, you notice the entering in of the PIN and the username. That's, I guess, what Adam's going to show in a minute. Adam?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'll show that. Sorry, I just had to unmute myself there.
No, that's all right. So at this stage, are there any thoughts or questions on the KeyWatcher, the key cabinet itself, and the infrastructure, how it all comes together as a mechanical product from the guys? Or
yeah, I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah, Tom.
I understand Laurie's mentioned that it's being trialled at a number of councils. You know, the integration between the Formbird booking system and the key cabinets. Is that the case? And how far are we in terms of, you know, a successful trial or that, you know, outcome?
Paul, do you want to jump on that?
Well, that's probably a Mark question.
No, it's probably an Adam question, I think.
Yes, I think it's an Adam question.
I'll grab that one. So at the moment where it's at is we've done the development where we will be rolling it out as part of the next upgrade to our fleet sites. And then it will be available to configure for any of our current customers. So it's likely that might be Chris, you at Shepparton in the early stages, but that's kind of where we're at now. It's being developed and now we're looking at the next phase, which is the rollout of the integration.
Yeah, great, Adam. So just from a KeyWatcher point of view, I guess through partners like Formbird or some directly, would probably be in 60, 70, 80 councils across the country. So the key cabinet, the electronic key management, is been in local government and councils for 20 years. I think City of Sydney is probably our biggest one and our oldest one, and it's about 20 years. So City of Melbourne, Brisbane City, I could list them on and on. There's Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, ACT, Western Australia, a couple in South Australia, Northern Territory, Catherine. So it goes on and on. The key cabinet itself is very mature in local government, and the integration out in that we'll show in a minute, that's ready to go. So really in the new year, we'd hope this is seamless.
Awesome. Thank you. Follow-up question, just in terms of but I need to know these answers. Sort of indicative cost, or sort of like a 16 kit, and also is there any ongoing maintenance required, like costs or support?
Tom, I can give you that pricing. I'll send it through as a proposal.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
And give you the options, and because they go 16, 24, 32, 48.
Awesome.
And it's really a function of how many sites you have,
yeah,
and how many keys you want at each site. You may have 3 sites, there's 16 in this one, 24 on the next, and 16 in the third one.
Awesome. No, thank you, Ian. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Matt. I do have one really stupid question for Matt. When you open the glass door, I assume that all the other keys are locked.
It's a very good question. Paul, the answer is yes.
Oh, okay, good.
So the answer is yes. Oh, they're locked in. So for those that are technical, there's a solenoid on that locks in those keys, and the solenoid is released of the one key that the machine knows to release. So
everybody else knew that. It was just me asking that stupid question.
Yeah.
But I just
I won't complicate things. If you wanted a box where they're all available and you can come and grab them, we can do that for you. But that's not what it's designed to do. And actually, that screen, the door is typically stainless steel, so you can't see through and see what keys are there. Again, if you wanted a glass door, that's an option, but normally we keep that locked up, and so it just looks like a gas meter on the wall, and everyone just walks by it. So there's options on those kind of things.
Right, you don't put it near the fire extinguishers where you could, great, thank you, Matt. Adam, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too, Adam.
Great. Let's get stuck into it then.
I like to build up the pressure. This is just going to go perfectly. So
thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Live demonstrations always are notorious for going flawlessly. Yeah. They have that reputation. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to start off by just talking a little bit about the purpose of the whole functionality. And that includes the booking system, but then also the integration with the key boxes. So what we're really going for with all of the pool car booking functionality that we've built is it's about removing the need for someone to manage booking requests. It's enabling drivers or people booking vehicles to self-service book the vehicles and manage that themselves largely. With the integration, we're trying to remove the need to manage keys as well, and who has them at any one time. As soon as the keys aren't kind of controlled by somebody, obviously people can take them, not return them, and the next person who wants to come and access the vehicle doesn't know where the key is, and it immediately kind of descends into chaos. Or you have someone who's the holder of the keys who has to manage all the bookings and dish them out. So, for example, the workshop might have that responsibility. What we're doing with the integration is we're leveraging our fleet data that we have in the system. So all of our details about our assets, all our characteristics, managing availability. So looking at when the asset is down for repairs in the workshop, and being able to manage the availability of that asset automatically within the system. And then also leveraging our fleet data that's in Formbird Fleet to assist in setting up the keys in KeyWatcher as well, and managing that access. Another benefit of the integration is that we're getting real-time updates to bookings based on the actual key usage. So without the key box element, we really don't know if someone has taken a key in our system. So without the key box system, we kind of can't actually track whether the booking has commenced, whether the person has taken the key, and whether that person has returned the key, basically effectively making the asset now available because the key is back in the box. So as I said at the start, this means that it can all be really self-service for people booking assets. They can see what other bookings are booked in across their assets, what other reservations there are. They can see if the previous person for the asset that they want to book and they want to use, they can see if that person hasn't returned the key. They can contact them directly. We can provide their contact details directly in the system. Or they can decide to cancel that booking that they did have for vehicle A and instead book a different vehicle and then immediately access that key from the key box. So to the demonstration today, I'm going to recap the asset booking functionality that we've kind of talked about before, but then also create a booking and demonstrate accessing the key box. So bear with me while I share my screen here. It's always the slowest part, really. All right, can everyone see that?
Yep.
Fantastic. So this is our asset booking page in Formbird, and I'm logged in as a driver account at the moment. This is our asset booking page in Formbird. Driver accounts, this is where they land in the application. These users are primarily using Formbird Fleet for the ability to book assets, as opposed to operators, which might be doing more extensive activities in the application, or mechanics or administrators. All of those other user types still have access to navigate to this page. It's just driver accounts just land straight directly on this page in the application. There's a number of different elements here that I'll go through to give you a little bit of an overview. So obviously we've got this calendar here. We've got time running across the top here, and then we've got our resources running down the left-hand side. The resources are grouped into locations. So against each asset, we can give the asset a location. So as a driver, when I want to book a particular vehicle, I can immediately filter the whole list of available resources by where it is. So if I'm working at the main office, I can just see the assets that are available at the main office. How this resources list is populated is based on who is looking at it at the time. So my account here has access to a pool, and there are a number of vehicles in that pool. So I am able to access those vehicles here and have those displayed. Both vehicles and accounts or people can be in multiple pools. So I can be in a pool for the main office maybe, and a pool for the depot, and access vehicles across both of those depots. Or it could be that that you have a pool set up for a particular department. They have access to a certain set of vehicles, so they can they'll be able to see the vehicles in that pool as well. So there's a number of things that we can see here in this calendar. Firstly, you see this grayed out area here. This indicates that the asset isn't available for booking. This area here is because it's in the past. It doesn't make sense to book vehicles in the past. But if I scroll forwards towards the end of the day, vehicles also become grayed out based on the end of their booking availability. We also have standing bookings for vehicles that are private use or commuter use that are also available for pool car booking during work hours. If we hover over an asset, we can see some additional characteristics. So I can see the details about this particular vehicle here. I can see its tank capacity, how many seats it has, the fuel type, the color, all the details. This is totally configurable for each site. So we can work together to decide what should be presented to people trying to book vehicles in your environment, in your application. There's been a few changes here based on recent feedback. So from Shepparton and Golden Plains recently, we talked about asset booking. So we've changed a couple of things. Previously, you had to open a filters list to access these filters. That's been removed now. Chris's feedback was that it was hard to see, so we've actually changed that now. So instead, if I want to see assets for a particular location, if I have access to multiple, then I can click on this drop down and select that I only want to see the main office assets. And you can see that that's immediately filtered the calendar here to display those assets that I have access to that are at the main office. You can also change this as well. So if I want to see only vehicles that are configured with a key, I can click on that filter and that gives me only the vehicles that are configured with the key, for example. You can see across here, we've got other buttons for unleaded, hydrogen that has an E tag. So we can filter for those things as well. You also see we've got this asset repair icon here. So we can see that this asset down here, 001H, is out for repair at the moment. And that's actually meaning in the system that you can't book it. So it's completely grayed out. I can't book that vehicle because it's currently in repair. Some additional feedback from Golden Plains that we've implemented is a limit so that an account can only be able to is only able to book one asset at a time, and that's configurable. So it could be that you want people to be able to book multiple assets. I'm not sure why, but you can. But yeah, we can now control that so that my account can only book one asset at any given time. It might prevent hoarding of bookings, for example. And the other one there from Golden Plains was the ability to prevent assets being booked once an urgent issue has been reported. So like based on the creation of a pre-start check, which has an urgent priority that fleet's out of service, we can immediately block that asset from being booked until that's resolved. Any questions so far?
Adam, can you have other people book for like managers and whatnot?
Yeah, definitely. We can absolutely do that. I'll book a vehicle now. So where are we with Thursday? It's about 11:30 a.m. That seems like a good time to make a booking. So to create a booking, I can click on the calendar and drag it across. So you can see here I've made a booking for 11:30 to 12 p.m. I could decide that I've actually clicked the wrong row. I want to actually book this other vehicle. So I can do that. I do actually want to book this vehicle, so I'll go back to that asset. So you can see here by clicking on the calendar, it's populated an asset here. It's got a requested by field. So this is defaulted to my account that I'm using in the application. But to answer your question, Chris, yeah, I can actually book it for somebody else if I want to. So I can access other users and book on their behalf.
Awesome.
If the user has a mobile phone, it automatically populates there. I can give a reason for the booking. So I've got a meeting, for example. I can manually actually adjust the booking start and end times as well. So maybe I just want to quickly change that to be 1:30 p.m. I can do that. I can add booking notes. So I can say this is for the Formbird FLEET professionals meetup. I can give it a location as well. So I could go 1 Burke Street in North Perth, for example. If you want to record a destination that it's going to. These reason for the booking notes, the destination, that's all configurable as being mandatory or not. So you cannot use it. You can use it if you want to, if that's useful for your organization. And that's basically all I need to do for the booking. Then I simply select create booking. And you see that's showing up there as booking created. And you can see there that it's populated in the calendar there. So now I can see my booking. If I hover over it, I can see the expected start and expected completion time in writing, who the allocated person to is, who's booked it, all of those kind of details. I can look at other bookings as well. So I can see other bookings that other people have made for assets. So I can see that there's a booking for Paul at 2 p.m. today for this other asset. And I can scroll forward through time and see bookings for, tomorrow, the next day, and so on. If I want to adjust a booking that's already there, I can do that as well. So say that I don't actually need this vehicle until all the way until 1:30. I can adjust that if I want to. I think I've got another booking later in the day. So yeah, I've got this other booking here. So if I want to adjust this booking, I can simply click on it, select it, populates down here, and I can change any of these characteristics about it. So maybe I actually want it to end at 6 p.m. instead. I can change that and click on update booking. Oh, that hasn't worked. The live demonstration, it's always dangerous, isn't it? Okay. Any other questions at the moment?
Can you, with the booking changes, can you set it up so that like the fleet, we can make changes to people's bookings, but people can't change other people's bookings?
Correct. Yeah, that's how the system's been designed. So I can adjust my own bookings as I'm logged in, but
Yep.
administrators can go in and adjust other people's bookings, cancel it, change it, whatever's needed.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep. So yeah, and I can cancel my own bookings as well. So if I go back in and select that booking again, I can say cancel booking.
Yeah.
So you can see that's removed from the calendar there.
Thank you.
So if one of the cars in the fleet in the booking system was a manager's vehicle, then they've decided they want that car at that particular time, they could not cancel that other person's booking. That would have to come back onto administration.
Yeah, that would have to come back to an administrator.
Awesome.
Great. All right. Now let's give this key box a whirl.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our key box here from KeyWatcher. You can see it's got the stainless steel door on it, and we've got this device here. We don't have any of the fancy touch stuff in terms of swiping cards or anything like that. So I've just got the standard UI here of the display. So to log into the system, I can press start. I need to enter my user ID and then my PIN. And then I can click on remove key. And you can see there that it's got a key available for me. That's based on that asset booking that I made. There we go. And then I can simply click on remove keys. You can see it's beeping at me. It's opened the door. And you can see there what Matt was describing earlier. The key that I've got access to is lit up for me. The other keys I can't access, so they're not lit up, they're not unlocked, but this one I can. And then I can shut the box, and then I've got my key.
A round of applause, Adam. Technology.
Bit of a challenge, but we got there.
I love to see a thing work.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So I'll just jump back into Formbird here and share my screen again.
So Adam, how did you get your PIN and your user? How did you know?
Yep. So we've got those set up against my user account in Formbird. It's also set up in the KeyMass system as well, actually, at the moment.
So you could change your PIN from Formbird?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So if I jump back into my asset booking, can you see my screen again, the asset booking page?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So now we can see this booking that I made earlier, the one starting 11:30, is now red, and that's indicating that the hire has actually commenced. That person has taken the key. So based on me taking the key from the box has told the KeyMass cloud software that the key has been taken, and that's told us that the key has been taken. So we've updated the booking. So live, you can see that that person has taken the key, and that booking is now in progress. The hire has commenced. So someone else coming in to see this book this asset afterwards, they can see that there's a hire already taking place for this particular asset, and they can see who is booked it as well, who has it.
Great. Any more to add?
Adam, I had a question, if that's all right.
Go for it.
For example, we have our community bus. We give it, hire it out to the community. So scenario, we get a phone call this morning and say, hey, we've got a new employee and I want to pick up the bus in an hour. How quick can I set up a new user? Give them a PIN.
Yep. Quite quickly.
Okay.
I don't think we've quite refined the element where whether we're managing users from Formbird or or we're setting them up in KeyMass as well. But Paul,
Right.
Arkell, are you there? You might be able to chime in. I'm not across all of the.
I was just trying to put together a scenario that, you know, while you ask everyone to be organised, it's quite often, oh, last minute, hey, this has happened, can you help us? How long would it take, type of thing?
Yeah, so at the moment, David, Formbird will go to KeyWatcher and see if there's a user there. And if there's a user there, you can create a KeyWatcher link in Formbird. So that basically means, at the moment anyway, that basically means you need to set up a user in KeyWatcher first and then a user in Formbird. We're planning to change that so that Formbird will send the new user details to KeyWatcher, and so it'll be a one-step process from Formbird.
Right. So it should be able to be done pretty quick, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so basically just create an account, and on that account create a KeyWatcher link, basically. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
So it should be basically as easy as you creating an account now in Formbird, all of those steps. The only additional thing that you'll need to do is give that person access to the vehicle. So add them to a pool that vehicle also exists in. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Gotcha. Thank you.
Can you do that? Sorry, Adam. Can you do that when you're setting up the new user to assign them a pool within the add user feature of Formbird?
We don't have that at the moment, but it's an interesting idea, Chris.
Yeah, I'll work on that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. If it makes it more streamlined, then that makes a lot of sense.
So the long and the short, Adam, is that your customer can be remote and can quickly add a user and allow them access for the key in that 1 hour period. That's going to be that's easily doable.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
So just if I can be clear, that the access to the key is via your code, your PIN code, whatever, into the cabinet. It's not as per each booking?
That's correct. It's based on the user having a booking for that vehicle in Formbird and by extension in KeyWatcher or KeyMass. Them putting their code in, they only have access to the keys for the vehicles that they've actually booked.
Right.
So in my demonstration, there was only one key available to me. That's because the user that I logged in with only had that booking, so they only had access to that key in the system.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So it uses your PIN consistently, and then figures out which keys you should be released at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and just to be, worst case scenario, if someone had my PIN, they could get whatever booking that I've made.
So need your user ID and PIN, your KeyMass user ID and PIN.
Yeah.
Yeah. The user ID is a 6-digit ID, and the PIN's a 4-digit PIN. There's also, obviously, Matt talked about earlier, there's ability to use swipe cards or your phone or whatever else, and that can override. You can have both. You can have the PIN and the swipe card. But if you have the swipe card, then maybe you don't have to have the PIN, so it's kind of a bit more secure potentially if you're worried about that.
Yep. Okay.
Now, Adam, everyone hates having more passwords and more access codes. I mean, I just thought, what is my access code? I could probably remember my PIN. How would I know my access code? And would I have to look at Formbird to do that or something like that?
Yeah, so it's available on your account at the moment.
Right.
So we have what's called a KeyWatcher details document here.
Okay.
So I can open that up, and I can actually see my user ID and my PIN in Formbird at the moment.
So you don't use that for your bank account, do you, Adam? No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I think that's a secure PIN, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
And so it might be something that, Fleet Manager would send out an email saying, good time to update your PIN number, for example, if there'd been something going on.
Yeah, you could do something like that if you wanted to.
Great. And that, yeah.
I think ideally, like the best approach probably is to have a swipe card or something like that, because then people don't even have to know their PIN, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is a double. Basically, you have to know the full 10 digits. So someone would have had to have released it to you for them to know it. So you've had to written it on a piece of paper and hand it to someone. Otherwise, someone has to guess 10 digits.
I would be writing on a piece of paper, though. You know, that's the whole thing. Or have it on my phone on Formbird.
Well, you have it on your phone anyway because you'll have the login.
Yeah. Well,
So Adam, here at Shep, we have both. So we can use a PIN and swipe card. So if you leave your swipe card at home, you can always fall back on your PIN.
Yeah, exactly right. So if someone in that situation, they did do that, they didn't know their PIN, they could log into the Formbird app, go to their account and remember what their user ID and their PIN is. It's likely if they're using swipe cards that they don't remember those details.
Often.
Yeah. There's a few other things on this booking page that I'd like to show you while we're here. So as a driver, I can view all the other bookings for me. So I can filter these how I want to. I also have access to works information. So this again is putting information at people's fingertips. It means that I can see works information about any assets in the system. Just so see whether they've got a repair request open, they've got a pre-start check that's open or been reported, services, all of those kind of details is readily available as well. So people can kind of see why an asset isn't available necessarily and see updates to things that they've reported as well.
Was that a manager's view, was it, Adam?
No, this is a driver's view.
Oh, okay.
So they have access to view this information. They can't go in and, assign the work to anybody or schedule it or anything like that. But it's about giving them an insight into, that service is in progress at the moment, or that repair request is in progress at the moment. They're working on it, basically.
So if someone doesn't return the key,
Mm-hmm.
like an alert or an email, or if they forget, they leave it on their desk, they don't put it back in the lock.
Yeah.
To someone else, and then they're looking for the key. Is there something like that?
You want to answer, Adam?
Yeah, I can answer that.
We have a key, like internally combustible key, that it can just combust. That's in the pipeline. That's future dev.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, you go, Adam. You go.
Thanks for that. That was good. So certainly within the KeyMass system, the KeyWatcher cloud system, there's all that ability to notifications. They've kind of got all that built in. What we've probably got to work out, and Paul, I don't know if you've worked on this already or have thoughts about this, so please chime in. But we've got part of what this integration in this meeting is about is working out what stuff we want to build into Fleet as well. So obviously, we don't want to send people emails reminding them about their key not being returned from KeyMass particularly, because that might be confusing to them. They're getting messages from different areas. So we've got to figure out what we want to build into Fleet around those kind of notifications and then who they should go to, how we want it to be in the Formbird Fleet app.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Eleanor?
Not quite, but I just know, like from past experiences, that sometimes people do forget to leave their keys. Not so much here at Keylocker, but at the town hall. That they'll leave the keys in drawers, and then someone is looking for that particular key because they need the car in the pool system, and it's lost like that.
Yep.
Could I throw just 2 cents in there, Adam? So, anecdotal experience, once you get the cabinet on the wall, probably 2/3 of that problem goes away because there's somewhere to go and put the key. So the 1/3 is the time where the key goes in a pocket and just gets forgotten about because it's in my pocket, or it deliberately goes into the top drawer because I want the car later. So somewhat of this problem goes away by putting the box on the wall. And then there is functionality built in. So I'm looking at my computer and not my screen. I apologize, guys. What's in the top of my head. The KeyMass has the alarms and the escalations, and how Adam and the team at Formbird want to configure that functionality exists, right, Adam? We just got to figure out how to play it.
Yeah, that's correct.
From a workflow point of view for your customers.
Yeah, I think the other element that will help deal with that problem on the Formbird side is being able to see when a booking hasn't been completed. And if the key's not in the box and someone's trying to access it, obviously the next person is going to be able to see who had the booking, see that it's not completed, so they've still got the keys effectively, and then ideally they can contact them directly and say, "Oh, Matt, you know, where's the key? Why haven't you put it back in the box?"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Paul, have you had any thoughts on the area yet? Obviously we're still kind of quite early in the development process in many ways.
No, but I guess the duplication of functionality between KeyMass and Formbird, we kind of need to figure out what do we want KeyMass to do, and how do we help our users use Formbird to control KeyMass, and at what point does that become a KeyMass problem, if you like you need to go to KeyMass to do something in KeyMass that you can't do in Formbird. So it really requires a little bit more of an investigation about the interface and the API and what I can actually send across that. I note that there's some things that appear in KeyMass that don't seem to have a corresponding element in the API to change. So that might be a case of, okay, well, you can go this far, but to do the rest of it, you need to go to KeyMass to do that. But I'm still looking at that sort of stuff. The email definitely can handle that for overdue. You know, we've got the information of when it should be due, so we can do all that.
For Eleanor's point of view, though, these alarms and escalations exist.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at a very minimum, tomorrow we could set up the KeyMass system to send alarms and notifications to an administrator who does have access to KeyMass, because we still will have the KeyMass system, and they can get those alarms immediately. So we kind of don't need to duplicate that for administrators. It's probably more on the side of drivers and people who aren't going to really interact with the KeyMass system, how we communicate to those people.
Adam, have you set up if someone doesn't pick their booking up in time, that it cancels it, so someone else can then make the booking on that vehicle?
Or is that something we've looked at?
No, we haven't set that up yet. It does cancel after the expiry of the booking. So if the time's past the expected completion of the booking, it'll take care of it then. But
I'm sort of thinking, like, if you've got a booking at 8 o'clock and someone hasn't picked it up at 10 past 8, you cancel that booking because someone could use that vehicle.
Yes, we can definitely implement that, Chris. There's not a problem. It's just a question of, what I'd like to do probably there is make it configurable in terms of time as well. So 10 minutes might be okay for somebody, and half an hour might be somebody else. I mean, you might be running late and you might be 10:01 and you missed your booking, sort of thing. So it's I can see that being very, very necessary to customize.
Yeah, Chris, is that something you deal with now? Is what your experience at the moment?
We have a 10-minute cancellation. So we've got a 10-minute early release and up to 10 minutes after the scheduled time to collect your keys. And if you do not pick it up, it cancels the booking.
Yep.
That's in KeyMass now?
That's KeyMass and SmartTrack that we use at the moment.
Yep.
Is there a way that you can stop the system so people can't book it back to back? So, like, they've got a few minutes to get the keys back, because we'll have people that'll they want it for an hour, but really they mean they need it for an hour and then 10 minutes to get the keys back to us.
No, I haven't considered that.
Yeah, I might just jump in here. Typically, the alarms and the alerts that we see set around fleet profile, there's quite a buffer at the end of the window.
I just mean for the next booking. So you can have someone will book it from 9:30 to 10:30, but they actually mean they need it to 11. But the next person's booked it from 10:30 onwards. Like, is there a way you can set the system so it restricts it the next booking until?
So like
there's no overlaps in Formbird. You can't overlap a booking at all. There's a minimum of a 15-minute booking period.
Yeah.
So in that case, you would be able to book it, to 11:15, and the other person would need to book it further from that.
Yeah, the problem with automating that sort of stuff, Stephanie, then you're always you're kind of pre-guessing what the user's actually doing, and it can work both ways. All of a sudden everyone's booking it for 2 hours. In fact, they only need it for an hour, or the other way around, they're all booking for half an hour and they really need it for an hour. And I think it comes down to, better operator training, because we allow automatic gaps. Some people overestimate and some people underestimate, and it depends on which way it goes,
Yeah.
Very hard.
At the end of the day, if someone doesn't return the vehicle in time for the next booking, that second person, if they no longer have access to that booking, they can always create another booking if the vehicle isn't available. They can cancel the one they had and create a new one if they need to.
Mm. If they meet in the hallway, are they allowed to just give each other the key?
Well, that's an interesting problem, Paul.
It's an annoying problem.
Okay.
Well, then you have to give the key back to the original person so that they have access to return the key in the box. Yeah, that's an interesting one, Paul.
Depending on the rules that are set with people who book a vehicle and don't pick it up, is there an audit report available to show the repeat offenders?
KeyMaster is, yeah.
Delinquent key returners.
Yeah.
It happens where people just book them to stop other people from taking them.
Yeah, and look, from a Formbird side, that sort of thing is quite easy to build reports around as well. Once we've got the information about the booking, whether or not it started, it's not a lot of extra work to say, to categorize that and group that into certain people and provide reports on that data.
Yeah.
We probably can achieve. You probably can find that information now. It might just need to be manipulated into an easier form for that particular purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone books the key and just holds it in their pocket to stop somebody else getting it, the GPS could then tell that it hasn't moved.
The car, yes.
Theoretically. All right. Are we exhausted? Have we done our fair share?
I think the last step, Paul, is to return the key.
Ah, yes.
We can't forget that.
This is the climax of the whole thing.
So then I just click return key and then click yes. Open my box up.
Show us the light. We can't see the light. Oh,
my key. There isn't a light back on the way back in.
Oh, is it?
Because you can put it back into any slot.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I got to stop it beeping at me.
So it just doesn't matter where you put it. It just then knows which key it is because it's got the chip in it.
Yes.
Adam, can I ask a question?
That's correct. Yeah, go for it.
The concept of a driver going up to the car and doing a digital pre-start to check that the vehicle is, it's got windscreen wipers, no broken lights, etc., etc. How do you integrate that into this process, or do you allow a certain time for them to do their pre-start before just getting in the car and driving off?
Sorry, I had to stop the unit beeping at me. I left the door open too long. Can you repeat that for me, Ian?
I'm asking whether the concept of going the next step of a driver might be required to do a digital pre-start.
Yep.
So before they drive off, they walk around the car, check the lights are not smashed, wipers are working, etc.
Yep.
Okay. How does that interface into this key system, or is there an allowance of time for them to do that?
So drivers can do pre-starts first off from the asset booking page. They can go in and create a pre-start for an asset. We've obviously got the geotab integration already, which reports on daily drivers being completed versus the actual car being used.
Yep.
So we already have that element. So we can already do that reporting with the geotab integration. It's an interesting point you bring up though for sites that maybe don't have the telematics integration to enable that reporting to work, whether there's something we can do around asset bookings. Or possibly also just as well as that as well, we potentially want to build that kind of reporting about, you know, for which bookings was a pre-start done for. That's definitely something we could explore.
Thank you.
I think that's enough though for today.
I think that's enough for today. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Adam. That was a great, one of the, I don't know, it's going to go down the history books as a demonstration that went extremely well. I mean, you know, all yours do, but this one was particularly beautiful. And thank you very much, Matt, for coming along and sharing with us the Keylocker.
No worries. And well done, Adam.
Thank you, Matt. Well done.
And thank you for everyone to come for coming. And this video will be up on the site next week. We'll send out an email. And this is our last one for this year. So it's a Merry Christmas. You know, there it is. Or whatever you do this holiday season, as they say. And we'll see you next year. Next year, 2025. And we've set the date for the 6th of February. So Thursday, the 6th of February is our next meeting. And we'll see you all then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Thank you, Matt.